Alright guys, I'm going to tell you a little trick here in a minute. Let me get this fish in. I'm on a beaver hut. Yeah, he's not that big, but I'm going to go ahead and net him. I say this all the time, don't I? If I don't net him, I don't net all my fish, but if I don't net a couple when I'm trying to talk to y'all about something, and he gets off at the boat, I'm kind of like, see there? Y'all see that bait just come out of his mouth? Here. If he would have jumped at the boat, that'd have been it. He's about 9.5. I'm gonna put him on this side. He'll get confused, won't go back over in the beaver hut and tell them, don't go up there, that guy's got a hook in that bait. Woo. Y'all have fun with people when you're out fishing. I have fun with y'all, and y'all not even stand here, and I'm just joking with you, Canon. This is the Virginia shad pearl belly bait. I don't have a name for it yet. I've been calling it whoop, so I don't know. That might stick. The other one I call mealtime, it's silver bullet. But let me tell you my trick, all right? This is a 1/48 ounce. Now that's a beaver hut, guys. You can see some of the twigs sticking up. See back and see the bank, see the wood coming in the water, all right? Been here for years. I've been fishing this beaver hut for 10 or 15 years. And I think the beavers have actually gave up on it a few years ago. I've met this guy that lives here in his house, and we've talked a couple times. He's a crappie fisherman. And I think what he's been doing is been clearing this lot. You see how clear it is now? And he's been adding to it, which is great, you know? If I lived there, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be going, because this woods here behind go forever, and so a lot of trash has been logged out before. A lot of log and limbs and small trees laying there, they cut down when they was logging. He just probably goes over and grabs some of that, keeps adding to it. But there are some active beaver huffs on this lake, and that's what we're going to do today. I know where counting this one, 1, 2 are in this creek, and I know where 2 more. I know where 4 are. We're going to fish all 4 of them in this video, okay? But here's what I done. I took and cut the shank off of this 1/48. I cut the shank off. So you don't want to sink too fast. If it starts sinking any faster, I'm going to cut some of the lead off of this. I'm only in 5.5 foot of water right here where the boat's at. All right, the crappie are up amongst that brush. If you let it sink fast, you'll get hung up. Now, this is a good place if you got some jig heads or some old baits you want to get rid of. This is a good place to do it. Just throw it over there and count to about 5 and pull it. You'll be hung up, so that's the end of it. You can't let it sink. You got to hit over there, move it slow. And that's why I made this jig head and cut some lead off of it and got as light as possible, okay? And I might take some more off of it. You want to sink slowly so you don't get in the brush. That way you can move it slowly. If you got a heavy bait and you throw it over there, you're going to have to get it moving fast, and they ain't going to have time to look at it. You got to give them time to come out of those limbs. They'll lay down in those limbs. I've got hung up on a beaver hut before I go over there to get loose and look down, and you see the crappie down in the brush, and in the holes in the brush, you see the silver down in there. You see them moving. They'll actually go down in those holes when they get scared, or maybe even when they're laying their eggs. All right. So here's what it looks like under the water. Let me show you. See how rough it is there? Now see that, look, see those flickers right there? Those are fish. All right, that's a fish right there. A lot of that other stuff is trash. That's the hard part. Now look, see those couple flickers there? That could be a fish. I see some limbs sticking up too. That could be a limb coming up. That could be a fish on the end of them. But some of those are fish. That's definitely a fish right there. Nothing back that way. I'm going to look forward. Yep. Look at these 2 here. That's probably fish. I'll throw there next and see if it is. But let's catch a couple off this beaver hut. Then we'll hit a couple different beaver huts and see if we can come with some fish in this video, okay? Now, where I'm seeing those is 15 foot. Did I get my line tangled? I'm using 2-pound test. Yeah, you want to use really strong line, guys, if you're going to pull them out of this brush. So I've got 2-pound test. All right. I think I'm in the right area. I'm going to let it sink a little bit, then I'm just going to pull slowly. Oops, I feel something bump me. I'm going to let it sink back again. Just a little bit. And I'm going to move it slowly. Something else I can tell you most of the time, they won't leave that beaver hut too far. They won't chase you too far. If you don't get them to hit you the first little bit from the hut, that's it. They're not going to come out there and chase it very far. All right, guys, I got another one. A couple casts later, though. Oh, well, should have known. You know what else likes beaver huts? Small bass. Small bass like beaver huts. So this is a spotted bass. right, guys. That looks like a pretty decent one here. This is a male. He's got his suit on. I switched beaver huts. Yes, I did. This one's deeper. I knew it's, well, it's 7 foot right here where I'm sitting now, but it's right off the channel. The other one had some crappie on it. Like I showed y'all, a few fooling around there, but I don't think there was any size to them, and they wasn't real interested. And then I got hung up. Y'all gonna say, yeah, you got a different color jig head. Yeah, it's cause I got hung up. That's a nice crappie there, guys. Got his tuxedo on too. Got those spawning colors. So this is a 1/60th head. Yeah, I got digging around. I got some small heads, but I lost that blue head. I got hung up on the limbs. I couldn't get it back off. Sometimes you get it back. I lost 2 jig heads there. Now that's what I told y'all. Hey, I said if you want to lose something, Beaver Hut's the place to do it. So see, I wasn't joking. It's not hard to get hung up in a Beaver Hut, and that's an old one. This is a newer hut. This is only about 4 or 5 years old. I think in that area. I've been fishing it for a while, but it's about that. The other one, like I said, has been there for years, and it's so much debris out away from it. Oh, it's just so much stuff where it's pitiful, which is good, but it's very shallow, and it's very easy to get hung up on any of them. I'm gonna try to get my boat position. I'll use some spot locker in a minute. The live scope's pretty well useless to me. I can look over there and see a mark went on like I showed you a while ago. You can see a fish when he moves away from the cover, but when you got that much cover, it's a lot of marks, you know, a lot going on. So it's showing me that the cover comes clean out to there, to the front of the boat. I can still see some pieces coming up off the bottom. So sometimes you can find a sweet spot. Sometimes it's not always up on what's real heavy. You know, it's out here sometimes. And I have been on this Beaver Hut right here where I've come in and caught them out of the cracks. I mean, just reach out the jigging rod and just jiggle it around right close to the edge of the brush, edge of the hut itself, and have caught fish. Well, let's see if I can find another one here. I think this one has nicer crappie. I just lost one too. I threw back, caught another one. I'm trying to figure out where most of them are. I can see a fish, I can see a flicker move every once in a while on the live scope, but the live scope doesn't help you a whole lot in shallow water. And when you're aiming up against something like that, with that much brush and limbs on it, there's a lot of marks there to pick through, isn't it? What I look for on live scope is just something that moves. You know, as I showed you a while ago, if it moves a little bit, or gets away from the brush just a little bit, you can tell it's a crappie. That's a nice one too, guys. He's good. He's pushing 11 inches. All right, this is a dazzle colored bug is what it is. It's got purple, blue, and pink flakes in it. Yeah, that's why I call it dazzle. It's a light violet color. It's a powder color, not pigment. So you can, you know, it's opaque. You can see through it, but it has purple, blue, pink, and silver flake in it. So dazzle you, you know. Y'all get that out of woo, Hollywood. It's a Hollywood bug. But you can see it works. The water, y'all see how water's clearing up? And this head is it's red. The color of the head don't make a difference, guys. It's just sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Red's the only color I have in these 160s. I bought these from Sportsman Warehouse probably 4 or 5 years ago. I bought a bunch of them. This for stuff like this. This is when you want to fish shallow. There you go. Because it doesn't sink very fast. Wow. 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 He acts like he's a horse. But it's got a little tiny hook. It's got a size 8 hook. So you got to, and I got 2-pound test anyway. You want to, whoa, this is a nice crappie. Oh boy. Come here. Y'all see him here? So the water's pretty clear now, isn't it? Could y'all see him? Y'all put in the comments, I'll know when I edit it. But did y'all see him when he was down running around in the water? I could see him way down there, because it's not that deep here. I say ain't all the time, guys. My wife gets after me. Ain't a word. When you're married to assistant principal, she could teach English. She has taught English. They get after you, so no, that's okay. Look at that one, guys. Woo-hoo-hoo. Let me make sure y'all on. Yeah. What y'all think of that one? Woo, that's a big old crappie. And it hit that little tiny bug. Now, guys, this is a very good point right here. People ask me this a lot. You catch any decent sized fish on them little tiny baits? What do y'all think? What y'all think? You see how little that bug is, don't you? Yep, that's a nice one. Let's get him back. Now, I think she's done laid her eggs, unless it's a male. It's got some darkness. It could be a big male. I didn't know the males got that big. All right, guys. Not quite 14. This is 14. 13 3/4. 13 3/4. All right. I get the D-lyre out there, right? All right, guys. I got another one. And my net's behind me on the back of the boat now. Yeah? I don't know why the boat wanted to turn around this way. The wind was blowing bad at that first before I just left. Well, I caught the one crappie and a bass and lost 2 jigs. I said, well, I'm leaving. The wind was just a little too rough right there for me. I couldn't. Makes it hard to control your boat. Now that bait, oh, I got it. That bait went through the hole in his mouth. I don't know if y'all seen that or not. The bait went through here. Was hanging on the outside of the fish. That's a nice one there too, guys. He's 10 inches. Oh, he tore my bait. All right, guys. Well, I think he's gonna come in. Oh, he got off. He got off. I switched baits up on him. I went to a little bit. They act like they caught on to that bug. Then I tore it, you know, that fish. I thought, well, since I tore it, it took me a little longer to catch that last bite. Maybe I'll just switch baits what happened. So I did. And they grabbed that little bit. I just didn't get him in. I don't think it's but a few here. I got up pretty close to it a while ago. And I can see the tunnel coming out. The beaver's entrance is coming way out to here. And that's what they're on, I think. I think they're on that entrance because it's kind of piled up like that with sticks. And it's coming right up from that longest stick out. I can see it coming that way when I got up there close. And as I look around here like this, I don't see anything on the outside of the beaver hut. Let's see if I can keep this one on. Yeah, I can't get bit unless I get over there in that area, in front of that limb coming out. Everywhere else I throw, nothing. I've been kind of fan casting around here, nothing. And looking around the live scope, like I say, live scope's not the best, but you can see it right here. See how it comes up right here? Got some limbs on it. See, I think those are fish. A couple of those marks are. Some of them are limbs too now, but I think a couple of them are fish because I keep watching. I see them move every now and then. Well, they like that a little bit. Now you can see them move right here. See there's a couple right there moving? Yep, there's one right here. See, there's a few there, and that's where they're at. That's 20 foot over there. So that's off that thing. But boy, that's easy to get hung up on. Because that limb is sticking up there. And got some. See, I'm on it now. See there? That's what I said. All right. Now look, guys, I'm going to go over and get it because I might go to another beaver hut anyway. Let's see. All right, guys. I threw it there across the nose of that hut. Trying to find the sweet spot. Like I say, usually it's on the very front. There's usually a few crappie sitting right on the nose of it up there ready to eat. And you can pitch out there like that and come right across that nose. This one's dropping so fast. I'm letting it work it there. There's one. Bam. So I come across the nose and then just let it drop because it's deep here. I'm in 15 foot. I just let it drop for a little while and let it drop and pick it up once in a while. Now if it was shallow water, you couldn't do that. So you got to kind of pay attention to where you're at. And I'm running the weed guard on this jig. I'll show you to get it out of this fish's mouth. Now the weed guard, I got a video on he's not very big, guys. He might be 8.5. On how to make this weed guard right here. It's 50 or 60 pound mono. You could use 40. You find the stiffness you want. I like to make it long enough where it comes back. See, I'm not quite touching the hook right there. I'm sure of the hook. That way when the fish pulls it down, he gets the hook. Does that make sense? When I do this, I can, we'll get where y'all can see. When I do this, I can feel the hook. If you leave it too long, you're blocking the hook. Now you can leave it longer so it bends down past the hook, but sometimes it still hits the hook. I played with it. After losing a few fish and getting bites, couldn't hook them. I keep cutting it till I get the length I need it. But it will help you. Does it keep you from getting hung up at all? No, you still can get hung up, but it does help. When you fish around beaver huts and lay down trees like this, it's better than nothing. It might be a thing to say. All right. Up. See there? I was down in the brush. I felt it. That wasn't a bite. Once I pulled on it, I realized it wasn't a bite. If I had an open hook, I'd have been hung up for sure. See how much the wind's pushed me around? The wind's blowing a little bit toward me right now. I cast it and the bait went to the left. All right, guys, I lost the last one. The last one, I come back and get the net, show him to y'all, and I lost him. Next cast, I caught another one. They quit on me on the bigger bait. All right. Now, I've said this in a few videos, so I'm going to say it again. The little bit and the bug, the little 1.5 inch baits, he's just a small one. He's 9 inches, little male. If they quit on you somewhere, go to a little bit. I lost that little redhead a while ago. I got it hung up in here and lost it. The wind is up and down. The wind was blowing bad a while ago, and that's when I threw it, and I shouldn't have. When the wind's blowing, guys, you don't know where your bait's at. You have no control of it. It's just everywhere, isn't it? And that's what got me in trouble a while ago. Now my boat's trying to get back on the brush pile now. Now I got a bass. Ain't gonna break my line. I don't have a 2-pound line, just a little bass. I think this is about the 4th bass I've caught today. Bass will hang around, these small bass, they're 8 to 12 inches, will hang around these crappie huts in the same place that crappie hang, guys. I know a lot of y'all catching bass too. It's part of it. You got to tolerate them. Sometimes I think I catch more bass than the guys out bass fishing. The guys, I done got away from the beaver hut and I looked around with my live scope and I found my bait, and I done got away from the beaver hut and I thought, well, I better go ahead and reel it on in. This little bait here is hard to find on your scope. With all that trash over there, you're looking amongst all that. Yeah, I've showed y'all the brush underwater. You're looking against all that too, right? And to find a little bait, it's difficult. This fish come running out of the cover. I seen him and ran out. I bet I was 8 feet from the cover, 6-8 feet. He ran out and grabbed it. That's a nice fish too. He thought he had something with that, didn't he? He said, I got that little bait. Yeah, he's probably pushing 11 inches. All right, guys. Y'all want to see if I can catch one more in that little bit? The little bit's just putting on a show now, isn't it? I done caught 2 or 3 and then lost a couple. You got a little hook. You gonna lose some of them. And see, y'all see what I'm talking about? See all that trash? And my bait came off like this was falling. He came running out and grabbed it. So I can see him once I get out like that. But when I throw it over against that cover, everything's green. Like right now, I can't see it. I have no idea where it's at. I'm gonna bring now. I just now seen it. I seen it flicker. There, I see it. Then once I get out away from that cover, I can see it. It's falling down in front of that cover. Let's see if anything will come out after it. Oh, here comes one out. He ran past it. He didn't grab it. Oh, I think that's it. I'm glad he didn't. I think it's a carp. Yeah, I'm serious. It's a carp.